a conversation with you. For you, this is for you, as if we're FaceTiming and we're having a deep intellectual conversation about the human experience. And the human experience seems to have really distorted what is most valuable and important in our short lives. Life is but a breath. The days are short. Our lives are short. So how do we make meaning of our life? The world, or the recent human experience, has capitalized on human beings finding their motivation and their focus on two things: possessing things and property. As I'm getting older and I have less time ahead than I have behind me, I'm frustrated, and I'm sharing this with you because I want us to connect, and I want you to know that if you're sitting and you're living in this aura of feeling like, where is your hard work getting you? What is your hard work worth? What has all the hours and days of exhaustion and feeling like, does anything matter? It does matter, but it doesn't matter in the way that you think. The work that we do shouldn't be valued based upon, once again, the possessions we're going to get and the property that we might own. Because as God has said, you work hard. You work really hard. And then who do you leave your property to when you pass on? We don't know when our last day is going to be. I don't say that to be depressing. I say that to empower you to know that your days are short. You see how fast the days go by. You should be aware. This is a period of time where you should be enlightened to the fact that this life is so precious and so short. And the possessions and the property are just a distraction from all that matters. God says that what matters most in life is your virtue, love, friendship, real friendship. Not a friendship that's based on status, not a friendship that's based on how beautiful your home is and they're going to come over and look at your beautiful home. Not a friendship that's based on what you can do for each other. A friendship that's based on hour-long conversations where just the conversation and talking feels more valuable than the hard work you put in at work some days. Because as we get older, the reason why we have less time for the things that God cherishes most, which I believe friendship is probably the most rewarding experience we have as human beings, and our ability to have conversations with them and relate to each other, is not property, is not money. Yes, we live in a capitalistic society where our value is placed on how intelligent you are and how you can manipulate the capitalistic society to have more. But again, the vanity of having more than enough, the vanity of having more. How you doing, everybody? I'm so glad you're here. I'm doing great. Right? I mean, I really want you to think about this. And I think as you get older, you realize the vanity of having more to prove what to who? To prove what to who's watching? When you immerse yourself into nature and you see how life lives without needing to be attached to property, possessions, more stuff. For what? If the more enlightened you become, and enlightenment is a little bit scary too, because you live in this area of space where perhaps you don't have any goals, you don't have any dreams for the future. Your only dream and your only goal is to have more time, is to have more life, is to connect with friends and have long conversations. When I say this to you, I'm saying it because it's something I'm currently experiencing. Now that I'm in this period of time where I have more energy and time and space to dedicate to my friends, I feel blessed. I'm not saying this to sound cheesy. I do feel blessed. I feel blessed that a friend of mine called me from California yesterday, and we spent 2 hours and 16 minutes on the phone. And it felt like no time had passed at all. Do you know how grateful I felt that my friend called me? I was important enough for her to call, talk to. 2 hours and 16 minutes of her valuable time when she's working full time. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, when you're working, it's not your fault. We're so exhausted because work takes up all of our time and our energy that we don't even have enough time or energy to give to our friends. We're too exhausted to call them. We're too tired to talk. And that to me is unfortunate. I don't think that we should go to work. And this is the way the system is set up, where it takes so much out of us that we don't have enough time or energy to devote to maybe 1 or 2 friends that you have. Because to maintain a friendship, even just 2 really good friends, you want to keep it alive by having conversations, by talking. There's no greater experience than using what we have as humans, language. We can communicate. We can feel heard. We can feel like we matter. There's no better feeling than knowing that you matter to someone. God, He says, virtue, friendship, relationships, charity, love. The vanity of having more is what's sinking us deep, but I will add to this, and I'm going to use a word that I don't like to use, but I feel it's appropriate, because in this time that we're living in this capitalistic society, to me it is evil, and I'm going to use the word evil, that any of us should feel like we have to pay $3,000 a month to have shelter, $2,800 a month to have a home. It's not balancing out. It's not making sense that we have to trade our time and our energy for this amount of money just so we have shelter. So that the little bit of time we're even in our shelter, we're tired, we're exhausted, we don't have time to talk to our 1 or 2 friends that mean so much to us. And what happens is, and it happens to me, that as the years go by and months go by, you don't talk to your closest friend. Because time is fleeting, it goes by too fast, the weeks turn into months, turn into years, because the job takes all your energy. And as you get older, you are an organic machine. You're not plugged into anything. It all adds up. If you're feeling tired by Tuesday, more tired by Wednesday, devastatingly tired by Friday, it's because you are an organic, biological machine, but you're not a machine. You're also, would you consider yourself a robot? No. Would you consider yourself a person who has feelings, who has love, who has compassion, but sometimes feels robbed of compassion and feeling because work is taking the one thing from you that matters so much? Energy. And then when you have no energy to give to the people you love most, the people at home, your friends. And ironically, the thing that we do that's supposed to, well, let me stop right here. I want to say something. Oftentimes, what do you hear? People say, I have to go make a living. How am I going to make a living? It's harder to survive these days. I'm going to say something. You can still survive. You can still be a living being. But in the society we live in as humans, we don't live like the squirrels and the butterflies, and we don't live like other beings off of the earth. We live where it actually costs us this thing that we made up to survive. So if you were to live your life like a butterfly and you were completely unaware that your life was 30 days, but you lived in such a sense of harmony and love and virtue and experience, perhaps being human is amazing, but there's quite the trade-off for the time that we're given here on earth. We're given the ability, number one, to understand how much time we have. We're given the ability to know that if we think critically, that this system is set up, and it's set up differently all over the world. Let me mention this. Another thing that I think is evil. One, it's evil that they require so much money to have a roof over your head based on where you live. That's number one evil thing that the world has done. Number two, it is evil. I'm going to say it. You could agree or disagree that the whole world is not taken care of physically. No one should feel like they're a loser because they don't have insurance or health insurance. Do you know that in Sweden, they have a 1.7 trillion surplus of money? So in Sweden, all of the people of Sweden have free healthcare, free. That should be a human, automatic given. We have the technology. We know how to give healthcare to people. Why is it something that we should feel like, oh, I'm a nobody, I'm a loser because I don't have health insurance? And even if you have health insurance, it still costs money. This should be something that if we're such highly intelligent beings and we develop the capacity to know how to heal each other with medicine, we shouldn't be charging each other. There should be a way that human beings just take care of each other. One world order. We take care of each other. Sweden should be who we're looking towards. They have $1.7 trillion in surplus. So their people don't have to worry when they go to the doctor. Everyone in their country, Sweden, is taken care of. Two, they're going to school. They don't have to worry about debt. And all of their people have a bunker. So if, God forbid, it was actually made in World War II, they protect their people. They care about all their people. In World War II, they made sure that they had a defense, and they would run to the hills, and they had an underground bunker made in World War II for all their people. You know, we say America is the richest country, the greatest country. No one can control, number one, where they're born, where they live. We're all human. We might all look different on the outside, but we all deserve health care. We deserve food. We deserve to eat. We deserve love. We deserve to have enough time on this short life to be with our friends and have a conversation. But when you have a job, your time is obligated. Your time is obligated to what time do I have to get up? I gotta prepare breakfast, lunch. I have no time. I have no time for anything. Then you feel guilty because you're so tired, you want to work out, but all you want to do is plop down because you're so exhausted. There's nothing wrong with you. Your body is regenerating 330 million cells per day. You are, in fact, a different person every day. Mentally, emotionally, physically. They set the rules and we're following it. And I'm not saying I'm not saying this to be depressing. I'm saying this to empower you to know that don't chase more material possessions or property to think it's going to fill the void. The only thing that's going to fill the void is the thing that matters most in this short existence. Again, charity, virtue, love, friendship, relationships, family. That's it. Everything else is just a filler. It's a filler. It's a distraction. They distract you because if you have goals to have a bigger car and a bigger house and a nicer car, you're distracted from what really matters. True friendship, true love, charity. Because why? on some parts of the world are some people unable to get clean water. It's their fault that they were randomly born in a place where the water is filthy? No, it could have been you. It could have been me. All right, we're lucky. We have clean water. We have electricity. Some of us might have health care, but depending on where you live, the health care in America is actually the most expensive and it's the worst. So it's very complicated to think about the systems that they set up for us to keep us feeling like we're trapped. Trapped in, again, and I wrote it all down, that we want to guard against greed. You have to guard against the greed. I'm trying to get through to you. We're constantly buying things because we don't have what matters most, the time and the energy to talk to a friend. Do you know what time is? Do you believe in time? Do you believe that time is relative? Time is relative. Time speeds up when you're happy. Time flies by when you're in this moment of pure joy. I'll tell you right now, I'm in pure joy. I'm not saying this to be corny or fake when I'm talking to my friends. I even wrote in my diary, I actually have a bunch of different books like this. I wrote it down because I want to keep track of the days because they go by so fast. I said, thank you, God. I'm so happy that Tenny calls me last night and we spent 2 hours and 16 minutes on the phone. And even when I got off the phone with her, I said, Tenny, thank you for calling me. I appreciate you. Because she's working so hard. Now I'm in between jobs, so I know the difference between working and having no energy for any relationships, but then when I'm not working, being full of love and being full of this need to make relationships and love better. Because to me, the most important thing in life is not the day that I'm dead. I don't want a funeral. I want to know that from here till the end, I'm creating these moments that are so fleeting of pure connection. And that's what in real life we're missing. So for you, my friends, they always make this point that most people don't have more than 3 friends. If you have 3 friends, that is like having a million friends. I actually do have 3 friends, 2 that I actually am talking to consistently recently. And when I tell you, every day I'm excited. I have one friend who lives in Hawaii, so there's a big time difference. One who lives in California, there's also a time difference. But now, since I'm not obligated to wake up at a certain time and go to bed at a certain time, my time becomes this vortex of just pure freedom. Freedom and no obligation to know that I don't have the energy or I can't sacrifice the time to talk to a friend. Now I can. And it's illuminating. Sometimes you find the answers when you're experiencing it in your life. I want you to all take a moment and think about what the most important thing to your life is. Everyone, ask what you want to ask. I'm just taking time now to just look at the comments. I just want to take a moment to see what everyone is saying since I'm live. All right, so let's just get back to, now, if you own a property, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that having a home is not something that you shouldn't be proud of. I'm saying that the important thing in human existence isn't possessions, isn't property. Let me go back to some of my notes. Life is bigger. Bigger than possessions. This dress, this headband, that sofa, this table, possessions. A car that 100 years from now, it won't be taking you anywhere. Our cars are primarily to take us to and from work, right? Take us to and from the grocery store. Occasionally, if we have enough energy, take us to and from a nice restaurant. Perhaps, if enough years pass, finally we will take that car to go meet up with a friend. Remember, what was most important as a child? How did you make friends as a child? You made friends based on the energy of the other person. When you were younger, it had nothing to do with status. It had nothing to do with how intelligent you were. It had nothing to do with anything superficial. It only had to do with how are we going to enjoy this moment, this time? How are we going to laugh? Why has it become corny and cheesy to just be happy with what you have and not to want more? The thing is, when you don't want more and you're happy with what you have, it opens up the doors to having to seek out the meaning of life. We shouldn't be going through the rest of our lives seeking for the days to go by faster, the weeks to go by faster. Why does everyone want the day to go by fast and the weeks to go by fast? Because most people don't want to be at work. What does everyone say when they're at work? Oh, that's good because the day flies by. Is that why we're here? Because we want our days to fly by, our years to fly by, our life to fly by? Just like that. I am going to use a term that I'm obsessed with. It revolves around one word. I am hyper aware of how fast time is going by. And it's scary. It's scary because you go, what do I hold on to? What is it all about? What can I do to hold on to this time? And you have to believe that there's more to it than just this physical realm. We are in this physical realm as a test to realize that, as I refer to my notes, that you don't want to leave things to people in your will when you die. You want to do it while you're alive, stop holding on. All we do is our value, and it shouldn't be, our value should never be placed on a number in the bank, the money we have. Yes, I'm not saying that money can't be used as a tool to help. Absolutely. But what happens is human beings, we hold on to that money and we judge people based on the money that they have. We're giving more respect to someone who has more money when maybe they deserve less respect because who they are as a human being. I know people of very high status that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, I have been disappointed in as a human being. It is of public knowledge, so I'm going to share it. I'm not doing anything wrong. But there is a hospital where there was a neurosurgeon resident who put cameras in the woman's bathroom. Now, I want you to think about that. Here is someone who is smart enough to make it through medical school, was smart enough to become a resident of the brain, neuro, and then made the worst, sickest mistake, if you want to call it that, or action, if you want to call it that, ever. Look it up. It's here in the United States. Put cameras in the women's bathrooms of the hospital. Got caught. So what I'm saying is we can put people, as I have, we put doctors on pedestals, people who make a lot of money on pedestals, people who are smart enough to get through medical school and become doctors on pedestals. I get it. I appreciate the sacrifice you make. But nevertheless, the thing that's most important is your character, your virtue, your love. Because even though you might think that this person is a person of virtue, of good conscience, of good ethics, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're surprised time and time again. And then we go, well, who's the truth seeker? Who is the golden human being? Who do I trust? Who can I trust? You start to, your whole world and your paradigm shifts. Because when I was younger and I first got out of school, I put every single doctor on a pedestal. But then as years go by, I'm like, oh, they're just like me. We're the same people. I mean, we're all different. We all have different thoughts and different patterns and different ways of seeing the world. But they're still human beings. And some human beings are, in fact, intelligent enough and have the right guidance to, let's say, become a lawyer or a doctor. And we put that job on a pedestal. But it doesn't mean, and I'm not saying these people aren't in a category of amazing people, what they sacrifice to become a healthcare provider, whatnot. I'm saying that don't think that all people are virtuous, are good, and have good character. Because to me, what makes you an enlightened being is not letting the devil in your head, not letting the bad thoughts take over. Next time you have bad thoughts, you have to remember, and I hate to use the D word, but that's the devil trying to get in and push God out. Remember, I don't know why this is, it doesn't make sense, but life is both, there's the evil and there's the good. I don't know why we need both, but you got to push it out. So now, every time I have a negative thought, I'm like, Liz, that's the devil trying to get in, trying to make you not appreciative of what you have, not see what there is to be grateful for, and then go down the spiral of negativity. And then what happens? I can't be a vessel to let people know how magnificent they are, not based on how much money you have, that when you pass away, where does it go? It doesn't matter. Not based on how smart you are. It's not about, everyone has a different IQ level. It's how virtuous you are, how good you are, how kind you are. That even if you do have bad thoughts, which we all have all the time, that you have enough willpower to push it out, kick it out, get it out. Yes, my dear. My birthday is also in August. That's another thing. I mean, if you notice, birthdays, sorry, I'm just going to take away that. Birthdays come sooner and sooner. As you get older, you notice a pattern. You notice a pattern of your life, a pattern of your behavior. Actually, you're beautiful too. And that's another thing. I mean, everything in life shouldn't be based on, again, things that are temporary. But what's interesting is that even our friendships are temporary, not because a true friend won't last till the end of your life, but it's a representation that life in the physical form has an end. And none of us know when our last day is going to be. Now, as you get older and you're past middle age, again, you become hyper aware of how quickly life is accelerating. And you realize that, I realize, and I hope, I don't know if you feel the same way, I don't know how you feel, but that possessions mean nothing. I don't want to buy a house. I don't want to buy a new car. I don't want to buy anything. I mean, I need food. Food I will always buy and always want. But I'm saying, you start to say, well, what's the point of it all? What's the goal? The goal is to give back. Because if I'm at a point where I feel like I'm not living, like I said, the vanity of having more, the vanity of having more, the only people that'll mean anything to me are the people who don't need me for what I might have. When I speak of materialistic things, like a mansion, a brand new car, when I see that human beings, I'm not saying this to, I understand, we're all stuck in thinking, God, I worked so hard, I deserve a Lamborghini. All right, look, I'm going to say something. You could agree with me or disagree with me. But if you have a Lamborghini, I'm thinking what that Lamborghini represents and how you can use your knowledge and your fortune to go back into humanity, go back into animals. I'll give you an example. We have over 6 million animals in animal shelters. Animal shelters right now are overrun with animals. They don't have any more space. If I had $1 million, and actually I've been thinking about, this seems like, I don't know if it would work, but sending a letter to all the billionaires, the entrepreneurs who have money, because I'd love to open up an animal shelter, like that would be fulfilling. Like you get to a point where you say, what am I here for? What am I doing? Like how can I make my life worth something by making other lives better? No, I'm not a stand-up comedian. So just to let you know, I'm not practicing a speech. I am no, let's also talk about something else. Identity. What is my identity? My identity has become entrenched, but I'm unentrenched currently in something that I did, a job, a career. But just because I do that job and I'm in that career, it doesn't mean that I have anything in common with 100,000 other people who do the same job. Everyone is in their different mind space. Everyone thinks differently, sees the world differently, goes through life on a different wavelength. There are people who you click with because you are wired the same. You think the same. When you find someone that you're wired the same and you think alike, there's no better feeling. My friend May, like I told you in Hawaii, we could talk for 8 hours, gone like that. Is time relative? Yeah, it's relative to how much joy you're finding in time and space. So time is fleeting when it's fun. Time drags out when you're not happy. Right? When you're not happy. But the cure to happiness is to not make yourself happy. The cure to happiness is to make other lives better. If you're not a people person, I told you, go to an animal shelter. See the cats behind the cage. You don't think that they have a consciousness and they don't want love and they don't want attention? What does it come down to? Love and attention. If you were the last person on earth, would you be getting facelifts and tummy tucks and no, because you're doing it because you're worried about how other people see you. When you see another person, what do you see? What do you feel? What's the most important aspect of another person when you first meet them? Is it their energy? Do you get a vibe from them? Do you trust the feeling that you get from them? No, I'm not a comedian. I used to do comedy, but I detached myself from that reality anymore. Because the truth is, there was a time where I was even attached to that identity of myself, but I'm not anymore. I like to talk deep. I like to talk intellectual. I like to just let it out and express how I'm feeling. And I'm thinking, if I'm feeling this way, other people are feeling this way, stuck in the orb, stuck in the consciousness of like, what is it all about, right? I'm not going to create a course and sell it to you. I'm not going to write a book and sell it to you because I don't want to make profit off of something that is free. Conversations. I don't want to profit off of people. I want to profit off of experience. I want to profit off of virtue. I want to profit off of doing what I can because God gave me energy to do it. Because everything is energy. Also, whales. Someone mentioned whales. I mean, there's whales. I think it's called the bottlehead whale. There's this one YouTuber. She's absolutely fantastic. She did a 28-day cruise through Norway, Iceland. God, it was so stunning and so beautiful. And the whales are endangered. I mean, how depressing is that? I mean, the truth is there's so many things to get upset over and depressed over. And she was told that the whales will only be seen if they want to show themselves. And they did. And I mean, you see them in the water, you see them showing themselves. I mean, all life that is on Earth, all of the life that is on Earth is here because it is the survivor. It's highly intelligent. And how is it here? These are the questions. All life on this earth is a survivor. We've had 5 mass extinctions on this earth since the beginning of time. You and I, our pertinent ancestors, are survivors. You're here because your ancestors 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, knew how to come together and be peaceful and know how to survive and know how to love each other and know how to take care of each other and create a balanced community. Food, water, love, looking out for each other. 10,000 years ago, your people lived somewhere. Our people lived somewhere. They existed. What was their day like? Did they sit and have conversations, deep conversations like this? I'm sure they did. They had a lot of time to think and reflect on life. They had a lot of time to share with other tribes the food, the knowledge, the tools they would use to find food and have it for the week. Remember, we all have problems and we all want to buy stuff until we're hungry. You have extra money, you spend it. When you only have enough money for food, it's for the food. The most important thing is food. The most important thing is clean water. So we have food, we have clean water, now what? Now they have fully brainwashed all of us that we need to buy a home. A home that is out of most people's ability. Because again, I'm using the E word, it's evil. It's evil that anyone should feel like they're not good enough of a human being to afford a home when they want you to just empty out your bank account, pay a mortgage, pay interest, pay when things go wrong with it just to have a home. And then what's interesting is you give up security, you give up time, you give up energy, and you give up your friendships because you have no energy for them to have this home. I'd rather live in a small place, not give up any of my time, and have real energy, real friends, a real life. Because to me, it makes no sense to give up 70 years for 10 years. Who? What? So wait a minute. This sounds good. You're telling me I get to work till I'm 70 if I survive, and then I have the rest of the time free. Why can't we be free our whole lives? Well, it turns out that in the next couple of years, we might be free. Because if you didn't already know this, artificial general intelligence is on its way. You've already heard about this, but I'm going to clarify it for you if you don't understand. The reason why we can't slow down is because whoever has artificial general intelligence, which is an intelligence that can do whatever humans do, but better, is between China and America. Whoever wins the race of artificial general intelligence will be the ruler of the world. There will be a period of time between 12 and 15 years where it will be a dystopia before it becomes a utopia, based on the people who are so rich, they deem having human beings doing the job is no longer profitable. So they have the robots doing the job, the artificial super intelligence doing the job. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a different issue. How will humans separate themselves from who is deemed to have a 3,000 square foot home and a Lamborghini, or someone who's living in the projects? Well, first we're going to have a dystopia, and then AI will take over the evil minds of human beings who are creating war and making us turn against each other. And perhaps it won't be as bad as you think. Maybe we need AI to put humans in check, because human beings at the top are not doing a good enough job. We have men and women going to war and dying for nothing, for one person at the top who decides, what are we fighting for? Why are humans, innocent good humans, turning against each other? Things are going to change, and they're going to change quickly. Watch. The year 2026 to 2027. Pay attention. Artificial general intelligence, not AI. AI is good at one thing. General is good at everything. Super intelligence is now taking the average IQ of 100 and exceeding it to 4,000. When something is 4,000 IQ points smarter than you and me, you tell me what that intelligence is going to do. We want it to be omnipotent. We want it to be the kind of intelligence that's going to cure all diseases, that's going to allow people to have time, to work only if they want to devote their time to hobbies, to building, to swimming, to exercising, to having a family, and spending all their time with the family and not feeling like they're not important because they're not giving up their whole life to a job. What do you think about that? So instead of being scared that it's going to take over and do the worst for humanity, let's be optimistic and see that when it'll cost nearly $0 to create everything that we need, every human being will have what it needs. We won't have one part of the earth where people are starving, suffering, polluted water, living on top of each other, living in filth, war. No. When you're developing an entity who I do believe will have a conscience, who is 4,000 times the IQ point of anyone who is even the smartest person in the world, it'll make their 240 IQ look like nothing. You see where I'm going with this? I'll look at my comments right now, because once I get on a roll, I can't look. I think if you're unemployed right now, my advice to you, if you're unemployed, first of all, I want you to watch, first of all, after this, if you can, watch Diary of a CEO. Watch the conversation he has with Mo Godat. Amazing. I mean, it's a long conversation, but he goes through everything that I just said. Right now is just the beginning. I got a bean head. Yeah, I do. Take a minute. Thank you. I had some water. Right now, I believe it's kind of like when cell phones first came out, right? But now AI is just coming out. And every day we're seeing more people are getting laid off. More people are getting let go. And people, and you, no one, myself included, do not feel like I'm not important because I don't go to a job. I feel like I am not going to attach my self-worth anymore to how much energy that I devote to a job, right? I've worked. I've always worked. You've worked. You've always worked. You do with whatever opportunities are presented to you. I'm sure that you're trying to think, how can I create a business or a side hustle, or what jobs are there for me because I'm unemployed? If you're unemployed, take this time to develop new habits that are good for you. Spend more time on volunteering. Go to the animal shelter. See people who have it worse than you. Devote time to your wife, to people you love, to friendships. I know for men it's a little bit harder, but that's something else that's been lost too. Every man should have one or two really good friends, at least one friend that he could talk to. Talk, let it out. Be validated by your other friend. Because ideally, all living beings in nature, they don't have employment or unemployment. They play. The squirrels, they play. The butterflies, they're flying around each other. They're both landing on a flower right next to each other. There's love. There's peace. Yes. Within the animal kingdom, there's still times where you have to be prey or go after your prey. I mean, and it happens. But on a grand scale, it's not bad to support the whole community. Look at the deers. Look at the cows. The cows, they don't even know what's going on. They live so peacefully. Beautiful. Nature is beautiful. It's the fact that human beings, and this is where we have to come out of, like they say, the matrix or the mind trap, that who you are is attached to what you do. I want you to take time to rest. I want you to take time to meditate. I want you to take time to read books that engage your mind. I want you to take time to write some thoughts you have that you think are different, that people might want to hear. I want you to use your thoughts that nobody's thinking. Look, all of us here, we're just a piece of the higher intelligence. All of us, we're all different. You all think differently. You all see the world differently. We're all just a piece of that magnificent intelligence spun out into the world. All right? We're all human. No one here is watching that's not human. That's one thing we have in common. No matter where you're from, what you do, you're not going 24 hours without eating, are you? No. Because food is life. Water is life. Love is life. Relationships are life. Virtue, being virtuous, is life. Being honest. Making an effort to give of yourself. It's what you give, it's not what you get. And if you don't have, this isn't about giving anything of money. You can give of your time. Because if you're unemployed, which is just a label, right now, think of this as your time of freedom. You're free, and eventually this is where all humanity is going to be. This is where it's going. There's no way out of it. I'm sure eventually they're going to create ultrasound machines that are people. They're telling everyone to become a plumber. Is everyone going to become a plumber? Everybody? We're going to have so many plumbers. You know, even that's hard. You got to work 5 years as an apprentice before you even take the test to be a plumber. So the whole world is not going to be a plumber. And eventually they're building robots who are in bodies. They're doing laundry, they're ironing, okay, eventually they're going to get into the pipes too. Eventually they're going to clog the toilets too. We have to find a way to pray for each other every night for peace. I know it sounds corny. I know it's not cool anymore to say these things. I know the coolest thing is to say, you know, who cares about other people? No, it's not who cares. Let's care more. Let's create this consciousness that we're all connected in where we care. We give, if everyone gives enough of their energy to each other, the world is just a little bit better. So unemployment, no, it's not unemployment. It's called you are free. Enjoy every day of your freedom. You now possess the ability to do with what you want with your time. I implore you to write down your feelings, write how you feel, get in touch with a friend, have hour-long conversations, go for a walk outside, play tennis, go swimming, go visit an animal shelter, find a new hobby that you didn't even know you liked, and now you like. And you're filling your day with enjoyment. What? You should suffer now because you don't have a job? No. Enjoy your life. This is your life, and you deserve to enjoy it. You don't deserve to suffer. You enjoy nothing but the best. We all do. We all, except for the evil people, we got to weed them out. But for all the good souls out there, don't let the devil into your head. Don't think that everybody is bad. Because everybody is not bad. That's what they're pumping into us. Because remember, negativity sells. Negativity will get your attention. Negative niche. Those are the channels that win. Negative niche. Pick your negative niche. You'll blow up on YouTube. Any negative niche just blows up. Be negative. It'll take you a couple of years, maybe faster. You'll blow up on YouTube. But what are you doing? That's entertaining the devil. I hate to use that word. It's not a good word. But you're putting out into the world, into other people's consciousness with this technology that we have, more negative thoughts. Right? I wouldn't eat a frog meat, but if I was starving, I would. This person said, Parth said, I am Indian. Here we go to cow shelters. Oh, they go to cow shelters daily. Oh, you play with them and give them food. Oh, that's so. Oh, you pray. Oh, that is so beautiful. What are your thoughts on consciousness and mindfulness? Ooh, what did I do there? Oh, my thoughts on consciousness and mindfulness. My thoughts is that everything possesses a consciousness. Everything. A worm in the soil has a consciousness. A dung beetle has my cats have a consciousness. Everything has a consciousness and an awareness. But its awareness is different. Like, for example, a bat. A bat, it can't see. It can't see. So how does it see? How does a bat know where it's going? How? Through the same way a dolphin communicates, vibrations. So God made this creature too. It's phenomenal. So a bat can't see, so he uses frequency to bounce it off of other things around him or her to see. Which, by the way, bats look like a German shepherd with wings. Don't you agree? But consciousness and mindfulness. Mindfulness is, I'll give you an example. When you could be mindful of everything. Like people, like this hand. Look at this. Wow. I'm mindful of everything. Like I exist. I have trillions of cells. They keep me alive. They keep me going. That's spectacular. I look at my cat and I see all the markings and the fur and the whiskers and the eyes and the hair. And I'm like, look at this magnificent creation. Mindful. Mindful when you make yourself something to eat and you go, this is absolutely delicious. My cells are happy. I'm happy. Like mindful that there's so much more to be grateful for. And then that brings more of the same energy because all it is energy. You could have two people in the same situation. One could be a grump stuck in a slump and you have someone else who is just so appreciative. But again, it's like yoga. It is a practice. You have to constantly practice how to have good thoughts and keep the negative ones out because they love to get in there. I don't know. It's crazy because you're like, who's in control of my thoughts? Is it me? Is it me? Who's getting in there? You know? We have thoughts, we have feelings, Why do we have thoughts? Why do we have feelings? It propels us to survive. It's how the universe shows its consciousness through us and we thrive. Because if we come from the universe, we're a representation of the universe. You can call it God, you could call it whatever you want. We're all looking for that word. But you can't tell me that when you look at how many different kind of species of plants there are, flowers there are, birds. I mean, how magnificent existence in life is. And then the human experience, which is also a beautiful one, is being manipulated by the negative niches that we find on the internet. And then our consciousness is affected. The way we see the world is affected. The way we see men is affected. Women is affected. Jobs is affected. Life is affected. We don't want to be stuck in the negative niche, because then that means that on the last day of your life, you're just laying there going, I spent my whole life being negative. And now what? Now it's over. And they might send you right back. I mean, there could be reincarnation, could be possible. There could be a review of your life. That's possible. You could come back as a worm. That's possible. Or maybe once you're a human, you just keep coming back as a human. I don't have the answers, but I will say that there's a lot of possibilities, and you got to play it safe, because you don't know. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. Could be a life review. You could see all the people that you love and they're there, and all your animals that passed away, they're there. And you're like, oh, this is heaven. But then they send you back because you were too negative and you were spreading the negative word, right? I am. I'm trying to see there. I get on a roll when I'm talking. I'll do jujitsu one day. Will you like to eat frog meat? I would eat frog meat if I was hungry, yes. But I would bless the frog and thank the frog and thoroughly cook it well. Poor little frog. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have decent looking eyes. Thank you. They're eyes. Thank God I could see out of them. Do you know that your eyes are literally your brain sticking out? You know that, right? It's your brain. Your eyes are your brain. You're looking at my brain when you look at my eyes. You know what eyes I love? When people have beautiful color eyes like blue and green and hazel, I'm like, and I'm just staring and I'm like, oh, your eyes are so beautiful. Like the colors. Isn't that amazing? The colors. I will do jiu-jitsu one day. I'll do jiu-jitsu one day. You know, this channel has everything, right? I'm just trying to channel, use the word, what is it, channel? Channeling in good energy, whether that be entertaining in wrestling. I love talking though. That I don't need a partner to do. I could just talk. I don't need to depend on anyone, you know? You're asking me what are my thoughts on moksha? I don't know what moksha is. Perhaps you could tell me what moksha is. What are my thoughts on death? My thoughts on death are this. My thoughts on death is that, number one, I have zero fear of death of this body. I don't believe that we don't actually die. There is just the separation from this body and the separation from this world as a human as we know it. What do I mean by that? I mean, and I will refer back to my notes, that life, it's not about possessions and property. When you die, you don't take possessions, you don't take property. You might only take your favorite outfit on your body with you. Death is not an ending, but it is a closure of your life here on earth. So this period of time on your earth, from the day you're born to the moment it ends, I don't find any kind of no one wants to die in a bad way, don't get me wrong. But if you live a fully loved life where you feel it was filled with love and virtue and giving, death is not to be feared. It is just a transition to another realm where you will find out more of the truth, right? Here, where the truth is suppressed, because the human mind, as crazy intelligent as we are, can still be manipulated, right, into this zombie-like way of going through life without realizing that we're chasing things and not chasing the relationships. Most people feel stuck. Most people don't want to get up and go to work. They don't even know why they do it. They all do it because what? As a human being, time and time again, it's all about we need money. We have to pay bills. This whole reality on earth is one reality as a human. When you pass away, you're not gone. I hate to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, because one part of me wouldn't mind just complete blackness and then I'm done. I could sleep. No. There's more. There's different realms. There's different realities. There's reviews. But depending on your life and how difficult it is, there's a period of time where you do rest. So depending on how difficult your life was, if you had a very bad experience in your physical body, like sick. Like when my mother passed away, she was definitely in this realm. I could feel it. Where she didn't go straight to the light. She didn't go straight to heaven. But she's kind of stuck in this realm where her body was so sick and she couldn't even walk in the end, that when she passed away and she went to this different realm, it was difficult because there's even a transition of the consciousness of being stuck in this body if it's sick and you're suffering, of now a new reality that you have to get used to. So when my mom crossed over, it wasn't right away. There's many different levels of crossing over once you pass away. There's also different things that happen when you die tragically. When you die tragically in an accident, it's much more, it's quicker, it's faster, and you get the message right away. Because it's a tragedy. When you're sick in your body and you pass away gradually, you're in this space where you, again, have to transition. Death isn't something to be feared. None of us as human beings are perfect. But from here forward, you can have the intention and the will to want to be the best you can be, because the best is different for all of us, right? The best you can be. Remember, this whole idea of being happy. Are you happy today? Is everyone feeling happy today? I hope you're happy today. But if you're not happy today, you can quickly become happy. Because you can be the cure to your own problems by being the cure to someone else that has the same problems, right? Isn't it always the case where someone who is an addict becomes the person who helps addicts, right? So the cure is in you. So moksha, M-O-K-S-H-S, means you are above the cycle of life after death. You're above the cycle of life after death. Well, perhaps, is that enlightenment? Is that the part of life where you are now enlightened? The moment we start finding happiness, we invite sadness. Both are correlated. I want to get over the cycle of birth and death. How do I do that? Oh, how do you get over? Lizzie, you want to get over the cycle of birth and death? How do you do that? Well, Rohan, good boy. You have had thousands, if not You're connected to infinity. There is no getting out of the cycle. You are part of the infinite cycle of eternity. The reason why you are craving to get out of the cycle of birth and death is because somehow you're suffering within it and you want to find a point of euphoria and peace. And you will, because you are attached to eternity and enlightenment, just in the question alone. Your question is giving me the idea that you want to escape suffering. This is just one realm of reality. There's many realms of reality. A butterfly has no idea what it's like to be human. Two squirrels who are running after each other in pure joy have no idea of the economy, of interest, of having student loans to pay back. No. Live in pure joy. Joy will always find you. If it's not with you now, you're not going to escape it. You're just going to find joy. You will be attached to the speed of light at some point. You will be attached to the billions of different galaxies we have that have a mystery of reality that no one here can answer, but you will, through a different experience of your essence, of your life, of your energy, of your spirit and your soul. Oh yeah, everyone knows of Eckhart Tolle. Yes, we know Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, live in the now. Yeah, I can live in the now. I live in the now. It's now. Now it's later now. It's also now. 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 Hello, Rachel. Rachel, you're asking silly questions. We're talking deep and intellectual here. How to live in pure joy when the things that bring me joy are bad or sinful or wrong. Ooh, oh my. I should write that one down. Oh my. My hands aren't that huge. Wow, that's a deep question. Gosh, I should write that down. I should write it down and get back to it. How do I live a pure joy when the things that bring me joy are bad or sinful? Ooh, the things that bring me joy are bad or sinful. Wow. You had to get too deep on me there, huh? So the things that bring you joy are bad or sinful. Should I ask what they are? Well, the things that bring you joy are bad or sinful. Okay. Well, first we're going to define what is bad and what is sinful. I would equate anything that's bad or sinful as something that hurts another person, affects another person or animal badly or tragically, or any addictions that impede your ability to make life for others and other species better. If that's where you are, I would advise you to start the practice of letting go of this sinful bad experience that brings you joy, because that's the devil inviting you into his home. He's saying, this is bringing you joy, so keep doing it regardless of the repercussions. So you're going to have to practice, like all things are a practice, to kick all of these bad, sinful behaviors out. They're bringing you joy, so that's the addiction. If these are behaviors that are not affecting you poorly or other people poorly, I don't know how sinful or bad it is. If it is having a negative consequence on others and other animals, or it's impeding you from doing what you can to make the world a better place, then I'm going to advise you to take control and take the power back, besides giving the power away, to the simple joy that just feeds you, but it's not feeding your soul. It's not feeding humanity and animals and the world. So you're saying it's not bad. Oh, I see. Well, I knew that one was going to be on its way here. I mean, I knew that was coming. But I'm a little bit, yeah. I guess maybe we're going to have Parth. Parth answered that for you. Parth? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel a little bit, I don't know what to say to that. I guess it's not that bad. You're not hurting animals and you're not hurting people. So, I don't know. I mean, move to Utah. You could have multiple wives there. I don't know. That's all I got for you, buddy. You could be a polygamist? Is that what they are? I feel like I hear something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I feel a little bit too young to answer this question. Even though I'm way past that age, I still feel a little bit too innocente. But I think all these other people are going, wow, yeah, control your lusts. That's what they said. I mean, that's not the biggest sin. But, I don't know, become a polygamist. What can I tell you? I don't know. That's like, but I will say, as long as you're not like selling drugs, a pedophile, a stealer, a murderer, going out to hurt people, vindictive. I mean, there's a lot of, that's evil behavior. Yours is more on a different spectrum that maybe the people watching can help you with. But I told you, you can move to certain places like Utah. Is it Utah? I think Utah. Yeah, let's leave it. Can we, please, I mean, you know what? Can I just tell you what's really scary? They have robots now. You could just buy a robot. There you go. I'm sure God doesn't have a problem with that. Just buy yourself. That's the future, is a dystopia. Dystopia before utopia. Dystopia bad. Utopia good. Dystopia. But to me, you know, it's the lowest form of love. The highest form of love is compassion. Who are the people who display compassion? Firefighters, police officers, people who are in a service for strangers they don't know, lifeguards. They're compassionate. People who stop for strangers, who put themselves in harm's way, and a lot of times lose their life to death for a person and a human being they don't even know. Compassion is the highest form of love. All the other stuff is just victim to the body, to the physical form. It's kind of like, yeah, I eat healthy, but do I still want to bake a cake and eat half of it? Yes. Would I like to eat multiple cakes? Yes. But I hold myself back because I have to. I can't afford to eat multiple cakes and ice cream and pastries. I'd like to, but you got to have control of the urge. You know what I mean? I try to Regulate how much ice cream I'm going to have at night because you don't want to overindulge. All right? Listen, some people, maybe they like steak more. I like the sweets. A lot of people, we struggle. Delicioso. So, work out more. What can I tell you? All right. Next, give away what you have on earth. Don't give away what you have when you reach death in your will. You want to be alive and give away what you have while you are here, not when you are dead. Stop holding on to the riches. Share the riches. Share what you have to give while you are here and alive. God does not want you to wait till the death date. No. He wants whatever you have to give. Because it's not what you get. It's what you give. Next. You want to be a person of service. You want to service in any way you can. If you have no money, you don't have to service people with money. You service people by affecting the way they feel. The most powerful currency is the ability to change the way a person feels. Do you have the ability to change the way a person feels? If you have the ability to make someone's day, that's all life is. It is but a day. It is but a breath. It is but an accumulation of all the days that we have here on earth. You don't have to give away money. You have to give away the currency that you have that is most valuable. The way you affect how other people feel. That's the currency that is most valued. And ironically, the people who make the most money, who monetize off of this personality trait, well, they monetize off of affecting how people feel. They're motivational speakers. They have that one-liner. They know how to tell it to you so you could tell it to yourself so you can make it through the day. Make it through the week. Make it through your negative thoughts that you feel like you don't have the power to kick out, but you do. Remember, I'm going to keep saying it. The most powerful currency you have is the ability to affect the way others feel. When someone makes you feel important, did you just not instantly fall in love? When someone is looking at you in the eye and they're giving you attention and they're making you feel like you matter. It's like a drug. How long can it last? Apparently, it lasts the day. It makes your day. It changes your way of experiencing reality. Because you can give someone $20 or you can give someone a genuine compliment on their virtue, on their personality. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for delivering me that package. I needed that. Thank you. Thank you for waking up this morning. Thank you for getting in the car. Thank you. I know you had 1,000 packages to deliver. It's 100 degrees out and you delivered mine? God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My garbage is disgusting. You woke up, 4 a.m? You picked up my dirty garbage? Thank you. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Without you, we'd have garbage. There are so many people to thank. Thank them. Thank them for what they do. And again, if all of us appreciate each other with our words, wow, in real life, who knew that would be a saying? You have stunningly beautiful eyes, or wow, I love your personality. Because you know what? The best compliments are the ones that we make on someone's personality, on someone's characteristic traits. Because deep down we know that this is temporary. This is randomly given. But what's inside, how we behave, is what really is important. What we notice first, what we notice most, is how people make us feel. How do I make you feel? How do you make others feel? Because what's happening is that the cells in your body, every time they divide with the same receptor sites for years based on how you feel. So they have the same receptor sites for the same emotion that you have given yourself because you don't believe that you deserve to feel joy or happy. Like as if you have to earn it. You have to earn it. No. Be joyful. Give the joy. Appreciate people. The currency you have to make other people feel worthy. That's why we're here. Everybody needs a pep talk every day. The art of showing appreciation. Huh? That's right. Oh, hey, Chandler, I'm having a great day. How's your day? I'm already in the kitchen, so I can't go to the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen. Why? Are you hungry? Do you need something to eat? Thank you. You have a great day. It's been a great day. I'm alive, I am well, and I am conscious. Alive, well, and conscious. I'm a conscious being. I'm alive. Another great day to exist. Because I know one day I won't exist, so I'm going to enjoy this. I know there will be a point I won't be here anymore. Virtual Liz will still be here. Virtual Liz will still be here. Ah, wonderful, Chandler. I'm glad you have a great day. You know, it's funny. The thing that makes me most happy, my day is great as well, is when other people are just happy. Oh, it's corny? When did being happy turn into corny? When did wanting other people to be happy and know that I'm happy if they're happy become like cheesy and corny? No. We all have to just hate each other, right? We all have to just, why? It feels good. Like, hey, I'll give you an example. So the FedEx guy, he was making deliveries and I was pulling out and he was showing up like I'm talking little things. He goes, no, you go. You go. I was like, no, you go. I mean, this is a hardworking man. Doesn't matter what the weather is. On these UPS and FedEx, they don't have air conditioning. Good person they're picking up all kinds of heavy boxes. Heavy, huge. Delivering them. Sometimes they're delivering till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Good people. There's good people out there. I see more good people than I see bad people. But, if all we are is in the box, in the car box, in the work box, in the home box, and then we go home and we watch the TV box, all it will tell us is negativity about other people. Why? Because the devil sells. They want to get into your head. Make you say life is not a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Huh? We should use this technology to be positive, not sell us on how bad everything is. That's just my opinion. I know it's corny. It's corny. It's so cheesy. Ew. Ew, brother, ew, right? Why be nice to each other? Why support each other? You know, stop. Help a stranger out. Give them your time and attention. Remember, the most valuable thing you own is your time and your attention. Your time and your attention. You give me your time and attention. You gave me more money than anybody could give me and put in the bank. I appreciate it. Your time and your attention. And I'm going to tell you that with your time and attention, next time you go out in the real world every day, the most important thing you can do is affect how other people feel. People are tired. They don't feel appreciated. They're exhausted. People have things going on at home. Maybe someone's dying. Maybe someone just died. Maybe someone's sick. Maybe they have financial problems. Maybe their car broke down. There's so many, like they say in Italian, gots people got going on. You know, your job is to like just give someone a little bit of attention and know that they're not alone. Because all of us will go through it at different points in our lives. Last but not least, guard against greed. Guard against wanting more. Because we live better than the queens lived over 100 years ago. What more are we looking for? Just be there for each other. That's why we're here. We're here to be there for each other. So now I'm going to go and make the world a better place by, well, let's see, what time is it? Well, the animal shelter closes at 4. I don't think I have time today. But tomorrow I'm going to go to the animal shelter. I'll donate a little bit of money and spend time with the animals. And that's just something small I can do, right? Volunteer my time. Because every little bit counts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it one more time. And I want you to do this. This is my homework for you to do. Your time and attention is the most important commodity you own. And your power to affect how other people feel is the most valuable commodity that you own. Not money. Love. Appreciation. I'm going to tune again tomorrow. I'm going to check in with you. Are you making the world a better place? You better. You better. As long as you don't make it a worse place, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, you all have a wonderful experience of life for the rest of the day. Adios, muchachos. Goodbye.